Hello and good evening everybody, once again to a Gaming Animonda live broadcast, and this time I'm bringing you a different F1 league on F1 2017, Invictus Racing League, round 1 from Circuit de Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix in the opening round of this particular season. Very last minute invite from TamworthFox to commentate this race, so thank you very much for that. Luckily I was free, and hello to Lewis Welch and It's Joe who have just joined in the chat. Some very familiar faces, at least to me, in terms of the driver lineup, and some of you on PSGL will certainly recognise a few of the names, past and present. So I don't have too much information to me, but I will try, and that's what it is. And hello, Stim. Yep, I did know. I did know you were the other one. So we have 17 drivers here for this usual 12-minute qualifying session, and a 50% race distance for this particular league. This is F1, the top division of this particular one. So we have a dry qualifying session by the looks of it. And I just received another invite, but I am already here. So let's see. I have got profiles. And Stim had to pull out of the league due to school. And hello, Steve Rapp and Lewis WO3. I don't know what you prefer. So Circuit de Catalunya. Very familiar circuit for those who watch Formula 1, as this is where pre-season testing usually takes place, which I'm looking forward to in a couple of months' time with the new cars going through their paces. I'm sure Mercedes will be about a million miles ahead of everybody. Well, hopefully not. And of course, anyone who's played the F1 games should be very familiar with this circuit. It's one of my favourite tracks on the game, except for that chicane, which I think a lot of people would say. I really wish they'd go back to the old layout, get rid of that chicane, because it is pointless. I've never seen the reason for slowing cars down there. It's not really a corner you tend to crash at anyway, so I don't see the point of slowing the cars down there. So I'm having a look at the driver profiles, so I can at least tell you who's who, apart from the list out here, of course. So we have KaW TactiicZz and UK-Tranquillity in the Mercedes. Delange93 and Mike SL in the Ferrari. VeniVidiVici, oh, a little bit of ancient Latin in your name, I like that. Will he conquer tonight? We don't know. Flyingfrome, they're both in the Red Bull. I'm going to call Sheepy83 and ChulloCookie, they're in the Williams. Sergeant 009 and Nikki 1995, they're in the Force India. Speed Queen and Craig 8728 are in the Toro Rosso. Narayan94 MrStim, who mentioned in chat he's not here today, they're in the Huskar, and then in the McLaren, Foxy Red and TS Odens, they're in the McLaren. And finally, TamworthFox, who invited me here today, they're in the Sauber with Apollo 71633. Gonna shorten some of those names for sure. And to answer your question, Lewis, no, CLFP was not streamed because there were issues with PSN on Tuesday, which prevented the lobby from working correctly. So some cars come straight into pits. So let's see, anyone on their flying lap at this moment in time? I'm trying to remember what I think it's somewhere in the 120s, maybe faster than that will be the quickest time. We shall see. So Frome heads through the end of sector 2, tight hairpin. Turn 10, then going up through 11, 12, then 13. You want to get a tight apex here so you can set yourself up for 14, 15 of this infamous chicane. Let's see where Flyingfrome, he's obviously for the soft compound. Yes, the tyre compounds here I believe are the softs, mediums and hard compounds. So one stop, fairly simple here, tyre wear not too severe. Quite a long race this one, over 30 laps. So Foxy sets the early pace with a 1:18.774, ahead of famous Roman phrase by just over 2.5 tenths. Quite a gap to Rossi and Frome behind them. According to TamworthFox, there's around 6 drivers who may be competing for this championship. Unfortunately, he didn't actually tell me who those drivers were, so I guess this race will be a judge of who those 6 are, assuming they have clean races. I'm familiar with some of these guys, of course. Craig, one of the first people I raced with over at PSGL. Mike as well. Rossi, had a great battle with him a few seasons ago at Belgium for a victory there. That was probably one of my favourite F1 battles I've had. So let's see some of the rest of the field. Speed Queen, someone I've spoken to a few times. Very good no assist driver. According to some information I've just received. Oh, and Sheepy disqualified from the qualifying session. That's quite unusual. Disqualified twice in the session. I don't know how he's managed that. So he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Not good news. I'm guessing he must have been blocking a pit lane or cutting a corner in over-exaggerant fashion. So let's see what Speed Queen can do in this lovely Toro Rosso, ever a popular choice. I mean, I can still remember when this car was unveiled just under a year ago. Absolutely stunning compared to the really dull Toro Rossos they'd done for several years before that. And I hope they stick with that sort of bright colour scheme because it really stands out, especially when you see it live. Toro Rosso made for some really wonderful photos when I went to the Spanish Grand Prix last year, incidentally. So, first run's complete for most of the fields, and UK-Tranquillity closes to within a tenth of TamworthFox and Tranquillity, instead getting ahead of Foxy Red. So it's a very tight top 3, less than 2 tenths between the top 3. I do apologise if my commentary is a bit erratic, but I'm still sort of reading up information on this league. I'm not sure if this will be a regular thing. Their usual guy was not present today, if they had a usual guy. So certainly some of the drivers have got things to think about to improve. And then we got Craig here on the mediums, goes back into the pits, 2.8 seconds off the pace. He must have made a mistake in this first run. A mixture of field. Craig the only one who set a time on the mediums, everyone opting for the fastest compound. Gonna find out what the weather is for the race, if possible. O'Dems certainly has some work to do to get up the order. 14th at the moment, hasn't set a time, must have invalidated his first run. So O'Dems currently in the pit, and we've got Foxy Red coming out early. Just over 4 minutes of the session to go. Just responding to a message I got from one of the guys. So Foxy in this black and orange McLaren. He'll be looking to get pole position for the first round of this particular season. Now I'm not sure if I'll be doing more of these Invictus ones as well, going further forward, we shall see. But just a bit of downtime as everyone starts their final flying laps, maybe a couple. Still wanting to find out what the weather is for the race, hopefully. We'll get some information on that. And, thanks for those who have joined the stream recently. So then, going through these first couple of corners, and then turn 3, and oh, he's sort of backed off already. I think the traffic ahead. So let's look and see anyone else. UK-Tranquillity. I think in fact that might have been the car that got in his way. Odem's out on track, and then we've also got Apollo, Flyingfrome, Rossi. Some of the other drivers opting to wait a little bit longer. Does indeed stim, but unfortunately I tried to change it but it glitched out, so I was like, well, they need me to stream, so yeah, it is what it is. But so let's see if anyone else. So I believe Tranquillity is about to start flying out. Foxy Dude will be doing another one. And we're going to have clear weather for the race, so clear running for the entire race. That's what it was in the first session, which had to be restarted. And it looks like everybody's out now except for Sheepy. So Tranquillity goes through turns 1 and 2, and then 3. It should be flat, although struggling a little bit with traction. Had to lift a little bit. Goes through turn 4, one of the best places to sit if you go general admission to this track. It's just a tip for you if you ever go. Then turn 5, tight apex as possible, a bit of traffic ahead. Torosso gets out of the way, and Chullo has retired. Has he lost it somewhere? We'll just check on him quickly. No, he's in the pits, so he's going to be starting towards the back. We'll continue on with Tranquillity, heading down towards turn 10, the hairpin. Yeah, gets a nice line and doesn't spin up the tyres. Then takes as much curve as he dares, and then has to pull the wheel back inside to keep it on track. With the traffic ahead, the McLaren goes over the curves. Oh, I think he took too much. That would have compromised his line a little bit. Might have lost a couple of tenths. So where is Tranquillity going to end up? Is he going to go any faster? And the answer is a firm no. What about Foxy Red? No, he's still struggling with traffic, so it's not going well for him. He's still in third though. Tamworth is on track. Keep an eye on him. What about anyone else? Let's see what Delange can do in the Ferrari. He's about to cross the line and stay 6th. There's Nicky. Nicky heads for the line. Stays 6th. Rossi. A few people might get an extra lap in. So let's see. TamworthFox heading through the final sector in the Sauber. Currently provisionally at pole by just over a tenth. Rossi retires from the session, as does Apollo. Tamworth crosses the line, and he's extended the advantage by another tenth. Tranquillity trying to get back into him, but here comes VeniVidiVici, and he heads for the line, and he takes provisional pole for now. A 460, a brilliant lap from him by the smallest of margins. Tranquillity pits, so he's not going to challenge. What about Flyingfrome? He's got a Haas in the way. Oh, that might have compromised him a little bit. It's currently 10th. I do think I'm going to call him Triple V, he's probably easier. And he stays 10th. Anyone else on a flying lap? No, I think that could be the end of the session here. Or Nicky's on a lap, or is he going to pit? No, he's still going. Fighting with the back of the car. Heads for the line. This is going to put him up. No. He improves slightly, but that's it. So Triple V takes the pole position for this IRL Spanish Grand Prix by the narrowest of margin. TamworthFox Adems put in a storming lap to get onto the second row with Tranquillity. Not able to improve enough. And Foxy Red in 5th. We'll go through the full order when the session finally ends. But we'll just be waiting for the last few cars. A few quick drivers outside the top 10. We may see them storm through the field. 3 seconds between 1st and 14th place in terms of those who've set times. A few other drivers with work to do, especially ChulloCookie and Sheepy, who didn't set times, and neither did Mike. So with it being a fully clear race, top 10 of course will start on the tyres they qualified on, which I'll just show you now. All soft compounds, and those outside the top 10 will be able to have a free choice of tyres, so we'll get some different strategies from them. Spain can be a tricky track to overtake on, with most of the field running similar setups, but the main straight will hopefully see some overtakes, perhaps some down into turn 4, and also the second DRS straight between turns 9 and 10. But that is very dependent on the exit of turn 9, and being an Arsenal fan, I also need to keep an eye on the Arsenal score. So if you haven't done so, I may do future IRL races as well as my normal content, so subscribe if you haven't before, so you don't miss a thing from me. So I hope you enjoyed that qualifying session. Kind of interesting, very close at the top. So there we go. Triple V takes pole position. TamworthFox joins him on the front row. Odems and Tranquillity row 2. Row 3, Foxy Red and Delange. Then Speed Queen and Nikki on row 4. Row 5, Rev Rossi and Flyingfrome. And then the rest of the grid. KaW, Apollo, Notorious, IP, Craig, Mike, ChulloCookie and Sheepy make up the grids. What did... Sheepy got disqualified for parked in a dangerous location. Very interesting.